The Edify Show with special guests Miranda MacDougall, Barbara Gregusova, Chris McNally, and now the host of The Edify Show, Elliot Wallach.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Edify After Show, episode 4. Things are starting to get interesting. Some new characters coming to Hope Valley. Now, what I'm going to show you is just a sample of what we put together for the After Show. You can pick up on the Season 12 Collector's Edition at whencallstheheart.com. Tiffany is on the set of When Calls the Heart to talk to Miranda MacDougall about the new character, the ranch owner, the lawyer, Edie Martell. Let's take a look.
Welcome to When Calls the Heart.
Thank you.
New character this season.
Yes, new character, Miss Edie Martell.
Yeah, tell me about her. Describe her for me.
Okay, so Edie is a lawyer. She has come to Hope Valley because she's inherited her late uncle's ranch. So she's steadfast, she's smart, she's witty. She's a total joy to play. She meets Governor Bouchard, Lucas Bouchard, and they have an interesting relationship from the jump.
I'm looking at you in this beautiful white outfit. What's her style? Is this representative of what she's going to be wearing?
Edie has a pretty incredible collection of three-piece suits. She loves a vest. I would say they definitely tended a bit on the lighter side for this character. Just exciting. I've had a beautiful green kind of pastel skirt suit, some pants. I do some riding as Edie, given that she did inherit a ranch. She has to be able to be on horseback to explore the many acres that she's inherited. So wasn't going to do that in a skirt, which I was very grateful. I didn't have to side saddle anything. Some fun riding pants. She's got a beautiful blue pinstripe suit. So she's buttoned up, but definitely an independent woman of her age, I think. Yeah, and for the time period especially too.
Edie's a lawyer, so it's funny because I just collect stuff prior to the season. So I actually bought something 2 months ahead of time. I found a vest and then I found a skirt, and it wasn't attached together. But I was just like, oh, this would be great for Faith. And I didn't know she's pregnant. So but I was like, yeah, this could work for her, because I couldn't imagine any other character to wear, right? And then we went to, surprisingly, the baker, which closed down. And they had this pinstripe, let's call it off-white or beige suit. And it was a blazer and there was a pants. And I was like, oh, I can either use it as a pantsuit, or I can buy 2 pants and make a skirt and a vest to go with the blazer, right? I didn't have the character for it either. We didn't know about Edie at that point. Maybe we knew about Edie, but we didn't know who they cast, which then that's another thing, right? Because you don't ever know, if we buy something, if it will fit. But, if you don't buy it, you will need it. And when you need it, they will not have it. And you will not ever find it, right? So that was kind of one of her other outfits for Edie, because she ended up in this pinstripe looks. I would call it classic probably, but it's very clean silhouette. Maybe that's a better word. Because when we had Madeline, she was very I would say call her more bright, or her stripes were wider, right? Edie's more it's the pinstripe look, which we didn't have before. And then again, I found Simple Retro this vest and a skirt look, which worked again perfectly for her. So we just needed to alter it, right? And then blouses, you have to find a good selection of blouses for everybody. So that's kind of sometimes hard because we cannot just, we don't have time and we don't have really people to build everything from scratch. And also the fabrics, right? To find a nice pinstripe fabric, you kind of maybe have to go outside of Vancouver because there is not that many choices. So I would just say it's all kind of lucky finds which somehow come together.
And you said you did some riding. Did you know how to ride before you came on the show?
I did know how to ride. Yeah, I kind of grew up riding on and off. I taught therapeutic horseback riding when I was younger. I did it as a high school volunteer requirement kind of thing.
Yeah.
To fulfill those volunteer hours. That was amazing. So I spent a lot of time around horses when I was in high school. And then kind of on and off, I've always loved horses and loved riding when I could. So it was really exciting. I had never ridden as an actor though, so that was a whole other thing to learn. There's one thing riding a horse just for pleasure, but then when you have to stop at a mark and, control the horse when things are going on. So it definitely feels a little like this sometimes, but the wranglers are the best, and Chris is great on a horse too. So it was nice having somebody who knows what's going on, had done it before.
Yeah.
Not his first rodeo,
Right.
if I can make that rhyme. Terrible.
But when he came on the show, he didn't have very much experience horseback riding. So he picked it up really fast, though, because like you said, he seems really experienced.
So experienced. I think he mentioned that to me, that he began riding when he landed this role. And I was like, what? How is that possible? Yeah. So it's actually been really lovely to, obviously play this role and be here among the cast, but also to take that up again, something that I loved for so much of my life, has been really special.
So you mentioned that Edie meets Lucas. Is she a friend or a foe?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
Is she?
Can
Is she
you
a
give
friend?
us- yeah.
Oh, I think as any great relationship begins, there's a bit of rocky ground. I think they have vested interest in two very different places when they begin. Edie's a lawyer. She doesn't have much of a connection to Hope Valley when she first kind of enters the scene, given that she's inherited a ranch in a neighboring town. But as things have it, Mr. Bouchard just keeps coming into her life, and they keep bumping into each other. So that said, I think that it lays a really nice groundwork for a complex relationship going forward. I think that they have grown a lot from their first encounters, but even in those first few times we see them together, I think that there's definitely an energy between them that, whether it ends up down the friendship line or the faux line, it's an exciting one to witness.
How was it between you and Chris? How was the chemistry just as actors working together? Have you enjoyed that?
So much so. Chris is such a pro. He's amazing. Such a kind, lovely person. We actually have some mutual friends, being that we're both actors from Vancouver. So that was kind of nice to connect the dots in a personal sense as well. But he's a lovely guy, awesome actor. And yeah, it was lovely. Super warm energy. He's so open. Yeah, total pro. I lucked out with my scene partner for sure.
And you mentioned the scene that you thought was really fun to shoot, which was riding the horse and all of that, and you had to rescue this calf.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes, I say we did.
Okay.
He did most of the rescuing. He did. So yes, we had spent, I believe it was all in one day. Maybe we split it over 2 days, if my memory serves me. But it was a blur of animals and horseback and calves. Luckily, the weather was on our side, because that would have been a whole other thing, rescuing a calf in the mud. And it was really fun. We had spent the morning or the better half of one day riding up and down the property, capturing a lot of our horseback scenes. And then we knew that the calf scene was looming in the background, and it was Chris's job to rope this calf. And I think maybe on another set or with another actor, they would have said, let stunts handle it or let a double handle it. But Chris is such a pro, and I think he was really very subtly and quietly confident about his ability to do this. So you'll see that Edie's kind of watching and, okay, Mr. Governor, city boy, you think you can do this? And then he does, and that reaction is very genuine, because he genuinely roped it on the first try.
Wow.
I know.
Not even TV magic.
Not even TV. I wish I could say it was movie magic, but
Wow.
no, I hope they used the whole tape.
Yes.
Because it
Right,
is-
because they could cut it
they
where
could
it would
cut
seem like...
I know.
Yeah.
So you heard it. Chris really roped that.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm going to ask him about that. That's
You
pretty
should.
cool. And you guys got to do a really fun scene together with the
Which
baby
one?
cow. Well, maybe
Oh, the
Minnie.
baby cow.
Yeah, tell me about this, because, okay, she told me, well, I'm gonna, I don't know,
What did she tell you?
that you roped that little cow on the first try.
I had some practice.
Wow. Okay, you did.
Yeah, I had some practice, but not with a real cow. I had some practice with a fake cow.
Yeah.
Which is a lot easier to rope, it turns
Well,
out.
sure, it's not moving.
Yeah, and when nobody was watching, because when you try and learn a new skill at work, I often find that it's you get the hang of it and you go, okay, it's gonna be no problem. But that's when you're on your own, and then as soon as there's 80 people around and
Staring at
cameras
you.
and time is money and you have to do it, then it doesn't happen. So I was relieved, but I will say that Carson, who taught me how to rope, Carson's one of the wranglers here, young guy who's a phenomenal roper. He competes, and the calf got got out at one point. Not out, we were outside, but it got loose and it was not wanting to come back. And it was cutting across the field, and Carson roped it as it was running from what seemed like 40 feet. Got it, and that was the really impressive one of the day.
That's
I was
amazing.
only a short distance from him, but I was pleased that it worked out. I thought you were going to say that she told you about how I split my pants.
No, she did not. She didn't throw you under the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, so tell me.
Well, I went to pick up that calf. We only did one take, and I bent down and I split my pants from top to bottom.
Did you know?
I was aware. It was very loud. Lots of people didn't realize that it had ripped. They thought it was something else. And I stood up and turned around, and I just felt like I had this, maybe it was internal, but this smirk on my face. So if anybody's watching that, I feel like Lucas has a little twinkle in his eyes, because I know that my pants are blown right open on the back.
So it was one take, so they had to use it.
Well, I'd wrecked my pants, so we couldn't
That
do
was
another
it?
one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well,
It's my second time doing that on this show.
really?
Yeah. There was the strongman competition.
Yes, I remember that.
I also sacrificed a pair of pants for that. You did. Yeah. I think there was a backup that day, though.
You think they would maybe, like for these scenes where you're doing something a little bit more strenuous, that we'll need to talk to Barbara.
I think I just need
Get
to
some
stop
carpet.
squatting.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I have some work to do there.
Oh, that's funny. I'm glad you told me that story. That's really funny.
You're welcome.
And that concludes this sample of what we put on the Season 12 Collector's Edition. Hope you guys are loving it. You can pre-order that at the windcallstheheart.com website. And we'll see you next time right here on The Edify Show.